My dear son, this is why mommy could never get mad at you for being a messy eater. Apple don't fall, the watermelon didn't fall too far from the tree. Anyways, I want to start in the middle with this one. Kind of feel like I already started, but there's just so much to talk about. But in this very moment here, I am not sure where I'm sleeping tonight. If I want to be very uncomfortable, I can sleep here, family's house. We've been here since yesterday. What happened was, yes, all of them. I was gonna grab a paper, some paperwork to show you that I can prove everything that come out of my mouth, and I mean everything, from voice note, voice recording, videos, papers, you name it. I don't have to speak on anything that I can't prove. But anyways, I say that to say that I just moved from a family member house, and I don't need to call any name. And should any other family member see this video and know who I'm talking about, I guess that's what people get for talking too much. I never said where I was. I never said who I was with. I'm not afraid to, but I don't have to. That's all. That's the power of gossip. Thank you. Did have to work for me. In that sense, if anybody in the family get too curious about who I'm talking about. Anyways, back to the point. Do well to ignore the stain, please. I'm trying to. So yes, I was with a family member who tried to make sexual advancement at me and was turned down. Like, I did say I voice note pictures and every damn thing. Why? So, I don't know why I repeat that. But anyways, I do have proof is what I'm trying to say. So because they didn't get things their way, living under that roof was nothing less than hell. Or what the description of hell is. So anyways, I got a eviction notice thingy or whatever that was. It was like that thing you get before the eviction is in effect. And I was supposed to leave the 1st of October, which is like in, what date is today? Hold on. Today is the 27th. I paused at 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Oh, like Angel's number. Angel numbers remind me. Anyway, so yeah, I was supposed to leave at the 1st of October in a few days. But there's something about me being joyful. I noticed it for a hot minute now. Like they call it light, irritate their demon. And every time I laugh too loud or act as if everything is alright, somebody make it their duty to make sure everything is not alright. So not yesterday because I've been here since yesterday. The day before, I was joyfully packing, glad to move on to the next chapter of my life because I kind of know what's happening spiritually. So anyways, I was there joyfully packing and I'm just so excited that I'm finally leaving. Don't know where I'm going, but I'm finally leaving. That's because they gave me the eviction notice or whatever that is. I don't care. I'm glad to leave. Why was I even there? There minute time. There will be enough time to talk about everything. So yeah, I was there packing happy, too happy I guess. By morning when I woke up, which was yesterday morning, I got a call from the police department in the community saying the person I'm living with feels threatened by me, very unsafe, and I have 1 hour to leave. And if the police get there and see me, they'll press charges. Whatever. I want to try to squeeze in the backstory about how it all started. I feel as if it's been going on all my life, but when I became aware of it, something like, what do I call that thing? Anyways, irrelevant at this moment. I was working at, probably don't have to call that company's name either. There'll be enough time for that. So I was working at a particular warehouse and I got hurt on the job, injured on the job or whatever. And the support for me to recover was like, there was none. And they didn't even want to send me to the doctor, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, doctor couldn't find the complaint talking about there's nothing wrong with my shoulder. Anyways, the details surrounding that don't really matter right now. But shortly after, I lost the job. They weren't helping me, like I said. I got a lawyer in the case and the lawyer sent me to the doctor. The doctor took me off work for 1 week and according to the warehouse, I neglected my job, so I got terminated for that, despite him being able to prove that the doctor said. I just wasn't going to fight it. Sometimes you have to believe and know that it's true, that God is positioning you for something better. It may not look like what you want it to look like immediately, but there's a divine plan taking place. And I should have been left that place. So I guess how I left didn't really matter at that point. So I didn't fight too hard to go back. That's that. I have a sibling who came to stay with me when I was at the house before eviction. The house that I left to go to stay at the relative who was trying to, what they call it? Maybe I don't know if I can say this thing online. I know I can, but to save myself all the trouble, they call it SA, something assault, whatever. So the family member who was trying to make moves on me. Before I went to that house, I was living at another particular house where I invited a sibling to stay with me. We will know eventually who the sibling is, whoever don't remember. But that's when everything really start going upside down. That's when I start learning more about witchcraft. That's when I start understanding that destiny swap is a thing. You hear about celebrities doing this, that, and the third, selling souls and whatever. It's not just at the top, it's at the bottom apparently. And I understand now that witchcraft, when it comes to those stuff, it's not something you can run to a station and prove, you know? Makes sense. But you know, it's not gonna always be that way. You can promise somebody that. But anyways, after the mess happened where the family member, my sibling, came and turned things around in no less than 1 week, there's enough time to tell that story too. So I faced eviction notice shortly after, lost my car, lost my job. Then I ended up moving to the family member that was trying to take advantage of me because they couldn't have their way. The story should be juicy. The shit that I endure, you wonder why. You wonder why. If you cannot see it from a spiritual perspective, then I would look crazy to be sitting in it. But that was that. And like I said, I do have a way to prove everything, so I'm not speaking out of the side of my neck. So yeah, we call police and get me out and whatever. And now I'm here at some other family member house because I had 1 hour to leave that particular place. So I just grabbed whatever I grabbed, came here, sort the rest out. And then I'm deciding where I'm going to go from today because I don't want to be around people. I no longer want to be where I'm tolerated. No longer want to be where I'm tolerated. And if that's not self-explanatory, it's better to be where you're celebrated. Why I keep doing this to my eye? I keep feeling the lashes, so I feel like it's becoming a habit. I'm about to insert some clip, voice note or whatever, about the situation I was in and what I was enduring. But because I'm not too big on the law and I don't want to deal with defamation of character or whatever, which shouldn't be the case because it's factual, everything. But I'm not trying to be messy. I've never been messy. Could have been talking to the police already. I haven't. I have all this proof and I didn't say anything to the police. Yet I'm here somewhat like I was running from the cops yesterday. Poor innocent me. Don't trouble people. I don't bother people. Yet I'm out here being threatened by police because I don't want to give it up to some family member. Somebody said when they heard the other portion of the story that I'm a changed person. Not that I used to be a triggering bad person or anything, but I'm not the one. Don't come for me. I know how to use my mouth. And you gonna settle your kettle if you come to me incorrectly. So anyways, I just be a little more humble these days. God, humble servant, trying to do what I'm supposed to be doing spiritually. And it's just irritating demons after demons after demons. So I understand why a lot of people can't see eye to eye with me. And it's not because I'm short, but yes, I'm short, but that's not the reason. It's like whatever. Nothing is going to hinder me from doing what God said I'm supposed to be doing, you know? So all the demons are going to be irritated until they decide what they're going to do. Chuck off somewhere in a swine over a precipice or just get with the program and change. Because the world frequency is changing. That's what's happening. That's really what a new world is. I remember talking to my sis. I'm not going to say much. You really cannot look like what I've been through. It's just almost seem impossible unless I'm just looking tired, like I didn't get enough rest. But I find that it makes it hard for people to understand or believe that I'm really going through it. I'm not complaining. That's where the lesson is. Don't feel good, but that's where the lesson is. And the blessing will come, I think. I believe. I strongly believe. It's just not here yet. It's faith. Faith. I have learned to give others the same grace that I was given. I have learned enough to understand why nothing is happening to us but for us. Why nothing is really good or bad until thinking makes it so. Got distracted by my hair reminding me of Naruto or what's his name just now. Anyways, I understand why the Bible use the word discernment so often. And it's interesting that a lot of people, including Christians, don't know what intuition is. It's like a tradesman not knowing the name of his tools. Anyways, it's true that if you knock, it shall be open. Ask and you shall receive. I know a lot of people know that's true. But it's more alarming that a lot of people don't. My understanding that this world is more backward than we think. Something like a mirror in which all its reflection be sitting. Some people just don't know what they're looking at. From my observation, they seem to take the reflection a little bit more serious than we're taking the actual image. I think we give our shadow more power than it actually needs and end up blaming Satan for everything because we're operating in our lower nature. What am I doing so close? I'll tell you, some act holier than thou and blame, or give credit rather, because they use the word how it fits, not blame. Give credit to God. Well, nothing is wrong with giving credit to God, okay? But they give God credit for everything when they're operating in their higher nature. Sound like God and Satan exist in you, higher and lower nature. Am I saying it is the truth, or am I giving you something to think about? Because it is something to think about. Whatever. It is very important to ask questions. That's what I believe. I question everything. Like if you ask me any question, like why do I do this, think this, believe that, this, and the third, trust me, I'll beat you to it. And I probably ask myself 10 times one particular question to make sure the answer is satisfying before moving on. So therefore, I don't have to know everything to know what I'm speaking on. But it's good to think for yourself, man. It's good to think for yourself. I think about the way I ask questions and the idea of people coming here like the reincarnation stuff and or however they get here, got here. And that they have a lot to do with the path that they choose, that they chose their family, this, that, and the third. A lot of people probably won't know what I'm talking about, but I'm hearing things and I'm questioning things. And because I know to a great deal how I am, that would make sense that sometimes it's like things have to really get shaky before I decide to make certain moves. So with that said, it's like I'm really the type to question things to the T as much as possible to make sure I have a great deal of understanding before moving forward. So I say that if I'm not clear, I say that to say I am a little bit stubborn, it seems, as if things really, they're going to have to be shaken before I take action. Like right now I'm in a situation, I'm going to get into it. But yeah, it makes sense that by the time things start to shake up the way it's shaking up, I have a strong understanding of what's happening where I cannot be swayed easily. And that makes sense because somebody didn't just tell me something and I ran with it. I had to be going through hell and high waters, everything before coming to this conclusion. So your little one word or phrase or reference to a whatever to get me to change my mind is not going to work, even if it's the Bible. Even if it's the Bible. You know, like when you're tired and you can feel it in your eyes, that's what my face is feeling right now. To some, this will quickly make sense already without me having to explain it. But I'll push through that feeling because if you understand, you understand. I've slept, so I shouldn't be feeling this tired. I am over any outside force trying to silence me. But at the same time, like I said, if I have anything to do with the path that I'm on, you just can't fail. Because at the end of the day, it's like transmuting is my thing, and that's another thing you wouldn't understand if you don't understand. I'm not trying to speak in parables, but I really care for everybody and their understanding, you know. But I realize everybody's not for everybody. So I'm going to try to focus on who I don't really need to explain everything to. Let's just start there. So we're already, 5 minutes and 25 seconds in. It is my desire. It have always been my desire to help this world to be a better place. May not have always known how, but we're in a time right now where I realize it's possible. It's giving dreams do come true. It's like we're still dreaming. Time to wake up and make things happen. But nevertheless, it's possible. Like everything that I thought of as a child, everything that I've been observing as I say to just do what you love and you can get paid for doing it. The pain part never occurred to me, but then it made me realize that I'd be heading in the right direction. Should I be getting paid for what I know I should be doing? But nevertheless, money is not what's on the mind. It's the desire to help others, and it's inevitable. So I guess the money is also inevitable. I say that to say, not about the money or career part, but about just doing that thing you feel the urge to do. They say if you're not dreaming big enough, if your dream don't scare you, you're not dreaming big enough. I wouldn't say I'm scared, but there's this feeling like even when I'm trying to visualize myself in the future that I desire, or I know that I deserve, I get this like I want to say imposter syndrome. As it takes practice. It takes practice, and I don't mind, and I feel okay with being Delulu until it's Chululu, but I don't have a fake bone in my body. So when I'm doing that, it's like, damn, no fake bone in my body. I'm not a hypocrite, definitely not a liar. So it would make sense that the world condition people like myself to fight against their own nature. So instead of realizing that it's your birthright to do what you desire to do, you're feeling as if you're intruding, you're stepping over somebody's boundary to get what's your. I don't get it. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, the contradiction here is not making much sense. So one is natural and the other one is conditioned. I can see where the wire get crossed and where we are at this point, even if we don't desire the same thing, where we have to rid ourselves of the conditioning that is hindering us from being our true selves. In the process of feeling like I've found something worth sharing, but I'm the type to question everything, like no stone left unturned or corners. Then I had to ask myself at one point, how do I expect people to believe me if I don't believe me? It's not so much as me not believing me, but I just know that there's room for questioning, like room for doubt. And that's why it's okay to ask the hard questions. So I fill those gaps before moving forward. So it's okay if people don't believe me. There was a time when I didn't believe. I just had to keep questioning. So yeah, now I'm at the point where I have to decide if I'm ready to act on what I know versus waiting for others to believe me. The stuff that I've been through is why my face did that on its own, because I'm not seeking no validation. It's like, I give you what I think you might need. You decide if you need it or not. I force nothing on no one. Never did it with myself either.